How we doing, everybody, and welcome back to the Catalyst, where we break down all things bullish in the crypto markets. Today we have a pretty exciting video regarding AMP. So if you are on the AMP subreddit, you may have seen me engage in this post here. So this is not my post, this is from Pampening, who's quite popular on the AMP subreddit, and he is actually referencing Crypto Empire on Twitter in a post from him talking about some potential for a fractal that could possibly be hinting at a 10x gain if we were to kind of follow through with that fractal. So if you like this type of content, please hit that sub button, hit that like button, leave a comment. That would be awesome, and I'd really appreciate that. So let's jump into it. Let's check out what this fractal looks like. So this is AMP to the US dollar on the 1 weekly. What we see here is prior to our kind of like big run up where we went from fractions of cents up to the 6 or 5 cent range, or even upwards as high as the 12 cent range for the listing on Coinbase. So you see here we I'm assuming this is as it launched. It quickly settled down quite low in price. It came back up, and then it actually broke through this resistance here that you see it made for several weeks in a row. That's 4 weeks. So a full month it had been testing that line as resistance. It broke out of that, came back down and tested it as support, and then launched off. So what he's showing here in his report, or his technical analysis, is that now we've had a similar kind of run up. We have tested resistance along this quite a few times actually over the last couple of months, because you see a wick here, a wick here, a wick here, several wicks down here, and now we have finally broken out of it. So same mark there, and from there we broke out, came back down to test it as support, and now in the last 2 weeks anyways, we have seen it settle as support and can confirm that. So if this were to play out, we are potentially in line for these giant green candles to start to take over. And you can see here, that was a 2,000% gain. I'm not necessarily calling for a 2,000% gain, so I believe it's a 20x. That's not necessarily where I think this is going to go. But just breaking through this trend line and back testing it as support is super beneficial for us as holders. And if you want to check out the subreddit, definitely you are more than welcome to. And it goes into much more detail. But there's just breaking down the general idea of breaking through a trend line and backtesting it as support before a huge continuation or run up. And that is a very real thing, especially when it's confirmed on larger time frames, so the weekly, as he references there. Additionally, there is some information regarding potential wave cycles for the bull market. You can kind of see here again, this is also AMP against the US dollar on the daily. We are potentially entering into wave 3 of a 1, 2, 3 pattern, or an ABC pattern here. So we had a double bottom along the trend line, and now we should see, we already saw wave 1 and 2, and that's what creates the double bottom. Wave 3 should be kind of impulsive upwards, super bullish there. Additionally, the rest of the market is looking like it's going to recover a bit, so that is all really nice as well. So there is an expectation of a potential 10x move from our recent lows of 4 cents up to 40 cents, which I believe aligns quite well with a lot of people's price targets. But I think obviously there's plenty of room for it to go up, potentially even more, especially with crypto and just how crazy the market is, and with now the thing I mentioned here on this post. As we scroll down, I have a post that kind of talks about the importance of just confirming too that not only is all the technical analysis great, but we have a lot more sentiment on our side now, and with that we have more accessibility for AMP and for the token, because now that previous run-up happened before it was listed on Coinbase, before it was listed on Binance. Now people actually know what AMP is, So it's easier for it to run up, people to load up their bags, etc., and people to kind of buy in because it's more credible now. And you kind of see that as things, run up, people don't mention it until it hits its euphoric phase. So once we hit euphoria, that's when people are really going to start to go in and FOMO into it, and that's going to drive the prices even crazy. So I think 40 cents could potentially be a conservative price point. That is one of my price targets where I'm going to start taking profits, at least to take out some of my initial investment and let the rest run for the rest of this bull cycle, so then I can reaccumulate and get more AMP as we enter a bear market. So all in all, I think this is a really important discussion to have just in general, not only regarding technical analysis, but also just kind of regarding, what could happen with AMP. Could we see another 2,000% run up? Probably not. But could we see, 5-10x gains? Yeah, quite possibly. So let us end the video there, and hopefully you guys have some input or discussions on this as well. Like I said, I think this run up could have quite a few catalysts in it, just regarding sentiment from just the people, the community. There's 40,000 people now, I believe, on the subreddit, 60,000 some odd holders, I believe, of AMP. So it's growing in popularity, and it's going to kind of continue to do that. And I imagine at an accelerated rate. As things get popular, they grow faster and faster by the day. I think AMP is, potentially going to do that. So let me know what you guys think of this. What is your price target for AMP? I think 40 cents would be quite nice. Obviously, anything higher than that would be nice as well. But let me know what you guys' thoughts are, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.